Professor Soyinka, and
yes,
I think it is fitting we say such things on this occasion. At his age, it's quite remarkable that there is no time I visited him that I've not found him at his laptop, either at that forest of 1,000 saints, he calls Ijegba, or at Freedom Park. He will always ask me.
Femi, can you please come in with your phone, please? Yeah, we can hear. We can hear you.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So you can, while you're trying to work on your laptop, can you quickly, continue your submission through this medium, because they can also hear you.
There has not been a single time I visited him, I will not find him working on his laptop. And that for me, at his age, it's a real food for thought for me, that we should make good use of our precious time. Time is precious. He's still writing, still publishing, even at his age, and I consider that remarkable. Another thing that I take away from him is his humility, which my daughter remarked this afternoon, the way he relates with those of us who are much younger than him. If I visit him anytime, he will see me off and say, where did you park and all that. And on one occasion when I visited Freedom Park in Lagos, in Ikoyi, the old Ikoyi prison, he even offered me a vehicle to take me back to my lodge in Lagos. And then when you call him, he misses your call. Imagine a man that is in demand globally. He will call you back, and he makes you feel like you are just his contemporary when you are, chatting with him, when you are with him. So these are things that I think are quite remarkable, and we should strive to emulate. And at this juncture, I want us to sing him a birthday song, and it will go this way. It's quite simple. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. 1, 2, go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
We wish you many happy returns.
Thank you.
Of that day. Long life and prosperity.
Hooray!
Hip, hip, hip.
Hooray!
Hip, hip, hip.
Hooray!
Now, we come to the question and answer session, and this is going to be a very short one.
So the first question, which is coming from me, is for Prof to avail us his secret of longevity. To be 90 is remarkable. And to be 90 without a walking stick, most times he walks around without using glasses. And he's still so full of life, he travels all the time. If you call him 5 times, 3 out of 5, he will tell you, I'm at Heathrow, I'm at Schiphol Airport, I will be on my way to Abu Dhabi tomorrow and all that. And I wonder, at this age, how does he do it? So we need to hear from the horse's mouth.
All right. If I use the word Ajesara, I think you'll understand. Yoruba speaking people. However, Ajesara is something which is partly mythical, to tell you the truth. I think it's just an expression for conceding that you are lucky maybe straight from childhood, yeah, you must have accidentally eaten something or swallowed something when the adults were not looking. And that thing has stayed in your digestive system all this while, affecting all your various functioning organs and even non-functioning. No other explanation. Luck. Luck. That's all.
And I think it's all the more remarkable. There was a time you granted a press conference that cancer is not a death sentence. And you had it according to you, and you overcame it. And I think maybe luck is the right word for the whole phenomenon. There is somebody with us who is a Wole Soyinka aficionado. He turned 80, I think 4 days ago. His name is Pius Omole. He's renowned for being very different at University of Ibadan. He rides bicycle all the time. And when he got here, he wouldn't take a lift from you at Ibadan University. He's in our communications department. And he has published quite a volume on Soyinka, the interpreters and all that in journals of high repute. So we asked him to join us. I hope he will show his face and is also to make a remark. The great Pius, please say something on this occasion.
Can you please unmute?
I would like to wish him long life and very much happiness. I was lucky once. His old friend, Engineer Oyelola, and the wife invited me to a blind lunch. And I was there waiting for the lunch to start. I didn't know it was Soyinka they were hosting, but they knew that I'm always a Soyinka man. And lo and behold, Soyinka appeared from the garden. I yelled like a horse. That was my closest time with the Nobel laureate. But again, let me remind myself that when I had my first daughter in 1990, Soyinka came to the campus to give us a lecture. He had just arrived from outside the country. My daughter was just about a month old. I didn't want to miss it. And I was babysitting. My wife was a student. So I went to the front of the hall where he was to talk to us. Soyinka came out, and as he came, he saw me holding a baby. He made a bee's turn towards me and came to me and greeted me and the baby. I was the happiest man alive. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I will want to give Dr. Akpoka an opportunity to ask a question too, a short one that is fitting for this occasion, not about the troubles of Nigeria that we cannot even finish in a year if we are to sit down to discuss.
Thank you, Prof. Sir. It is really an honor to be here today. And I followed Professor Soyinka closely, although I'm not in the literary world and all of that, but I have friends like Kule Okeshikpe and even Paomole that just spoke, that I followed closely, that I usually, get a number of information from regarding him. I also follow him in the digital space. Sir, I would like you, I'm a young academic.
Sorry, your network muted you. Can you unmute?
Dr. Akpoka, we can't hear you again.
Can you unmute? I think his network flickered and muted him. Dr.
Okay, in that case, let Dr. Okeshipe make his own remarks.
Okay.
After that, my dear wife will also say something so that my domestic harmony can remain intact, because they have been of great support for this event, reminding me. Have you called Professor Soyinka to remind him? Have you been able to reach him? Now he's in Heathrow, he's at Heathrow. I say yes. Have you called to find out if he has landed in Nigeria? So, Dr. Okeshipe, Kunle Okeshipe.
Oh, thank you, sir. Well, I don't have any question. I just want to say that Prof is a gift to humanity. It's an inspiration, and the world will never forget in a hurry what he has done for the Black race, for humanity, despite all attempts to bring his name where it does not belong. It's a real privilege that it is occupying the same space with us, and he has nothing to prove again. He has written a lot, he has given a lot of insight. We are very, very privileged, and we thank him, and we pray that we'll have many more years to continue to be a source of inspiration to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, let my Mrs. Olufumilade, it's your turn.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a rare privilege to be among great minds like this. Well, the question I would like to ask is, Prof, Daddy, in 1986, you were awarded the Nobel Prize. At that age, you were still in your prime. I would like, what because you were still in your age and for you to kind of global, what was the focus? For me, it's a lot. And at that time in Nigeria, Nigeria was still, we're just out of independence and we're just trying to be a great nation. So, I mean, for you to come out globally, what was the focus? What was the drive? I mean, it's a rare honor.
Well, the part that was missing was that you are, you really had not much of heroes to look up to locally. As at the time we got independence, when you were acquiring your learning and all that, and then for you to emerge there some 2 decades plus later, a Nobel laureate. That's our question. Now, what is the drive? Yes. What is the focus?
All right. Let me put it this way, that I put it down to simply loving what I do. Or you can put it the other way around, to making sure that I occupied my time, my mind, my entire passion, that I used all of that, focused all of that on the occupation that I love best, which is creative writing, literature, wrestling with ideas, even when those ideas are purely abstract, but simply because they retuned, constantly challenged the mind. Curiosity is also part of it, that I love to explore certain new experiences, new approaches, new understanding of human phenomena. In other words, that I continued just being a curious child. I was very curious, a very curious infant, problematic in that sense, and I ask questions. So all I can do is tell you what I did with my existence, how I directed my very, very, the sense of my being in various directions. I can say quite truthfully that I never thought in terms of fame. I never thought in terms of acknowledgement, recognition. No, I just did what I loved doing. And as it happened, it struck chords here and there, not really of my own doing, but that's the only explanation. It's very similar, actually, only on a different level, similar to the question I was asked earlier. What's the secret of your longevity? What's the and the very fact that this longevity continues with a seeming, at least, retention and exercise of all my faculties. Problems, physical problem here and there, in the eye, macular degeneration in one and the other. And when that happens, I just switch to other things which do not require that particular faculty. It doesn't frighten me at all. There's so much to occupy one's mind, and physically also the same thing. If I get up from this chair, for instance, and I find that I'm limping somewhat, I'll do one or two things. I'll go back and sit down and wait until I can walk without limping. And usually it works. Then it gets more serious, then I tend to it. So it's the explanation I have. That's why I use the expression luck. My choices appear. My choices appear to have worked for me, physically, intellectually, creatively, mentally, generally. That's the only answer.
Thank you very much, Prof. We have roughly 5 more minutes, and we want to make good use of it because our allocation of your precious time is 30 minutes. And now Mani Oshugboju is here. Ahoy, Mani.
Okay. Prof, it's a privilege to wish our erudite professor and Kapun a happy birthday. OCB, long may you live, and God bless you, sir.
Ahoy.
I used to be your zonal commanding officer in road safety, one of your pioneer officers.
Yes,
and,
yes, I was wondering. I said,
KB's we used to come to Abeokuta those days. Thank you, sir. The face
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
bit,
Good to see you again. I hope you're still with the
I'm
Special
still one
Marshal.
of your soldiers.
Yes.
With Special Marshal, but
are you still with the Special Marshal?
Practice law now. I'm still with the Special Marshal, but not with the Corps anymore because I retired and I'm practicing law now.
Okay.
Thank you, Mani.
My privilege to... Thanks,
Thank
Prof.
you, Mani.
Comrade Prof.
Yeah, the final question to Professor Soyinka is not political, it's spiritual, it's prophetic. What is your outlook for this country, which you have fought to be a better place? You fought over the years, put your life on the line over the decades for this country to be a better place. What is your outlook for those of us that are still far away from your age? Because many of us are troubled.
Yeah. In terms of outlook, I think I've given up using words like optimism, pessimism. Let's begin from there. And into that, I've been, and for decades now, for 2 or 3 decades, I'm content with pragmatism. In other words, utilizing, maximizing the value of whatever you have. And that is not just material possession, material endowment, the human endowment, just maximizing what you have. We've been both lucky and singularly unlucky, unfortunate in the emergence of those whom we call leaders most of the time. But there have been some brilliant flashes of leadership here and there. And so let's just fasten on to those and ignore those whose mission in life seems to be to drag the nation back. And youth in particular must understand that they have a special responsibility not to sell out and not to be so easily co-opted, to examine very carefully issues, analyze, utilize the brain, that capacity for thinking, which every human being is endowed with. Beyond that, what can one say? Difficulties, lots of difficulties ahead. But we're not the only ones. Let's take consolation there. Look at him in the United States now. Look at the kind of leadership which threatens to emerge. So let's take consolation from that, but say that we don't want to go the negative aspect of their ways. That's all.
Thank you very much, Prof. We are so grateful for this opportunity that we have utilized. It's in line with your advice that every opportunity we have, we should make very good use of it. This is one such moment. And we wish you very many more years in good health and with your faculties working fine and with joy in your heart. This is the wish of every one of us. Thank you so much. Mazezi, okay, any final remarks?
Well, like I said at the beginning, it's indeed a privilege, you know, to be in the same room with the man whom, as a young chap, got introduced to him by reading his work, The Trials of Brother
Jero.
So that was my first baptism of fire with him, and I so much loved it. You know, ever since then.
Mine was The Man Died.
Okay, well, you know, it's indeed, like I said, indeed a very, very rare privilege to be here, and I hope, you know, since he's told us his luck, I hope all of us here will have that same luck to get to that age.
I hope so too.
Well, lastly, somebody just joined us at the tail end, Professor Folala Sisi. He was at Ife when you were there, sir. He's now in his 80s. He's joining us. He didn't know that this would last 30 minutes. Professor Folala Sisi, please, let me take a special permission from Professor Soyinka. We're about rounding it up. It's just 30 minutes affair, but you can wish Professor Soyinka a happy birthday, sir.
Okay. You can know that he is a special person. Professor Soyinka was one of our seniors at Ife here. When I was at Ife before I retired, and he made a difference when he was here. So we always looked up to him. But as everybody knows, he's a multidimensional person. He's not just an academic, but he's a unique academic, but he's a playwright, he's a public affairs person, he's a political activist, he's a lover of the ordinary people, and a lover of the country. So he's a special one, and God has blessed him to live this long, and may he enjoy his life at old age. So that is my wish for him. Thank you, Femi.
Thank you, sir. We wish you the same too. So Amen. On this note, Professor, the meeting is over.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay.